So I've been psychologically building myself up for this video. It's from the Podcast of the Lotus Eaters, and it's about Britain's nightmare future. It's filled with emotion, grievance politics, racism, hatred, insecurity, anecdote, and so much grievance politics. Let's get straight into it because it's a truly insane video where I just both feel really sorry for them. It's hilarious and also terrifying in equal measure. So let's get straight into it because it is insane.
I think it's time for us to have a frank conversation about the results of mass immigration, multiculturalism. We need to have a frank conversation about it. The type of conversation you won't get from Channel 4 News, from Kathy Newman, from Laura Koenigsberg, from
the BBC.
Laura Koenigsberg. I thought it was Laura Koenigsberg.
From James O'Brien, Sangeeta Miska. But we can do it here at the Lotus Eaters.
Yes, we can.
It's a real world problem. The reality is butting up against the leftist narrative, the multicultural narrative. And I mean, the question I want to talk about is the criticism that people like us get from the Yasmin Al-Albani Browns of this world. Is that the reason why we've got any problem with multiculturalism, why we talk about how demographics are destiny, why we're worried we might become a minority in our own ancestral homeland by 2050 or 2060 or whenever it is. The only reason why we care about that is it's just blind bigotry. It's just simply because we're racist. We can't stand to be near brown people. That's the reason why, according to them.
Yeah.
And no, not at all.
Well, yeah, if you embrace multiculturalism, like the majority of the UK does, we actually are a massive success in terms of multiculturalism. So is America. They were literally built on it. They were built on immigrants. Strongest economy, most powerful country in the world. But it is racism, because I've been accused many times of racism. I don't get upset about it because I'm not fragile. I'm not conservative. I argue my point, but they can't argue the point. It's not racism. Okay, so you want to live with brown people then? Oh, it's no. Remigration, deport. Which one is it? You can't have it both ways. Like, I'm not racist. I just don't want. That's what racism is. That's the definition of racism. You don't like different cultures and religions for a reason, even though they've always been around. It's successful. Not to say there's not problems, but we can solve those problems. But he's the problem. That's the thing. Like, the only problem really with multiculturalism is figures like this who scaremonger and use anecdote and fear about the coming civil wars. It's completely irrational.
No, it's much, much more than that. It's much deeper than that.
You could say it's blood and soil. That's literally the argument.
It leads the way. It's the thin end of the wedge towards horror.
That's what they said in 1930s Germany. That's literally what they said about Jews in 1930s. It's the thin end of the wedge. They let them in, horror. And it's simultaneously, they're strong. They're coming in strong. They've got too much power. While simultaneously being weak and leeching off the system. It's exactly, every argument they say is exactly the same as what neo-Nazis said about Jews in 1930s Germany. It's just it's so clear.
And people say...
Even if it wasn't, though, just a quick thing, even if it wasn't, there's still not an argument for us to give up our patrimony.
Sure, right.
My children deserve to live in England.
Why, though? They'll never answer that question. Why? Because why, though?
My grandchildren deserve to live in England.
But why, though? It's just a piece of land. Like, you're born here. I mean, they don't even think Rishi Sunak, who was born in England, is English. Okay, so it's just racism.
If the multicultural utopia came about, that's not what we should be passing down to them.
homogenous society with very low crime, high.
Yeah, but the
There's no correlation with that, though. Crime is caused by poverty. You can have the most homogenous towns in the UK, and there's crime. Some of the poorest towns in the inner cities, in white cities as well, have crime. The idea that somehow, if you have the majority or just an ethno state, which is what they want, which is why they're neo-Nazis, would create no crime, is delusional. There's no evidence to suggest that. And this is fascism. It's rational. It's an emotional argument. Everything that comes from their mouth is an emotional argument. Well, it's just emotion, not even an argument.
the questions of statistics I want to take off the table very quickly. We'll come back to them because they are incredibly pressing. But
They don't really come back to them because they haven't got the statistics. It's pure emotion. They can't use statistics because we are a successful multicultural society. Doesn't mean there's not problems, but overall, the integration has been amazing. It's been a success story. The fact that people come from all over the world and live in the UK and America and other countries too is amazing because they don't judge people on the race. They judge people on the content of the character. They judge people as humans, as individuals. They want to boil everything down to race. That's what racists do. That's what ethno-nationalists do. They are the problem. Get rid of these people, which we need to in society. Their ideology, I don't think they should be deported because I believe in human rights, unlike them. But their ideology needs to be eradicated because these are the people causing problems in society.
I just want to make it clear that I am in principle, even if it could be shown that multiculturalism made crime go down, well, it doesn't matter because
Multiculturalism has nothing to do with crime rates. It's poverty that causes crime. The poorer you are, the more likely you are to commit crime. That's simple. Doesn't matter about race, religion. It's generally men, gender. It's gendered men, broadly. So you could say it's a gender issue, maybe. Men issue. They won't talk about that. But it has nothing to do with multiculturalism. There's countries across the world that are not multicultural that have high crime rates. Generally poorer countries, because that's where crime comes from.
physically we had a thing called England, and we should be passing the integrity of that across to future generations. You know, we inherited it in a really good condition.
Inherited? What does that mean? How do you inherit a country? Which is a metaphysical, abstract concept. Like England is like, who owns England? No one owns England. It's an idea. It's a physical place, but it has many different cultures and dialects and histories. It's a complicated place. It's an old place. Very old place. But the idea like, oh, we've inherited it. It's yours because you were born here, because you're white. But if you're not white, it's not yours, even though you were born. It's just doesn't make sense. Like, logically, really. It's just, they just don't like brown people. And they can't even be honest about it. And like Nick Fuentes can. He's honest about it. He hates them. And I kind of respect that more because they're being honest. These are just cowards. They're just so whiny about it. Like, oh, you're calling me a racist. Well, yes, you have racist positions. That's what racism is. It does have a definition, and you meet that definition. If you don't like it, try not being racist. Just for a week. Like, for a week, and then expand it to a month, and then after a year, you'll be cured of the disease. I've just cured racism. Amazing.
When we were boys, and look at the state of it now. And that is something that has persisted for over 1,000 years. And actually, it's deeply irresponsible of us to just give this away to foreign people. Like, they don't deserve it.
What does he mean? But what do you mean don't deserve it? They're people. Like, that's the thing. Like, they're just so... Oh, it's just so illogical. Like, don't deserve what? Why do you deserve it? You've just been born here. Like, if they've been born here, they deserve as much as you do. No matter their race.
They didn't work for it. They didn't protect it. They didn't inherit.
Also, I'd love to go... They won't do it because they're cowards. but get these, because there's a few of them. They're like a little gang, aren't they? Like a little white gang. Do a genetic test on most of them. I guarantee 9 out of 10 of them will have like ethnic origins, racial origins that go outside of the UK probably a few generations. What would they say then? Do they need to go? Because I'm sure they would not like that. They would not be consistent. They'd be like, "Oh no, no, no! I'm doing my podcast. I'm saving the white race from the Great Replacement theory." Insane. Just so fragile. It's fragile.
Inherit it. Why are we just giving this away? And I would feel the same about any other country. Like if the Greeks started giving away the
Well, of course you would. You're an ethno-nationalist. Like, who's entitled to any bit of land? Historically, it's never ended well. That's the thing. Like, we know this. The date is in on fascism. It didn't happen. It didn't go well in 1930s Germany. It was probably one of the worst things that's happened in recent history. It doesn't work in Israel right now. It doesn't work in India right now. It doesn't work in most nations that want an ethno-state. It causes racial tensions, but they want that. They're saying, "Oh, we don't want it. We don't want it." Yes, they do want it. Like, that's what they fantasize about constantly. It's what they probably masturbate about.
Greece to whoever, like, but this is yours. It's not theirs. You have a possessiveness about it that you, for some reason, have abandoned.
But what do you mean possessive about it? Like, to an extent, yeah, you'd be proud about your country, but you don't own your country. Like, you don't own it. It's a part of you, maybe, if you want to choose it to be, or it cannot be. That's freedom. Like, you should not be defined by the little bit of land. Like, this is very illiberal, and it's funny because he used to call himself a classic liberal. Freedom of movement is a cornerstone of liberalism. What's wrong with it? Like, there's no argument. That's the thing. No argument here. Just feelings.
So even if all of the reasons were correct, I still wouldn't agree. But like you're correctly pointing out, it ain't going to be the utopia.
Because the nightmare future I worry.
Based on what? Like, it's pretty good. The problems we have in the UK have been austerity, increasing inequality, not taxing the wealth. So we've got a consolidation of wealth at the top. Outside of London, our economy is comparable to Mississippi. We're a poor country outside of London. That's the problem. They never talk about that. They never talk about it. It's all race. Like, attributing it. And that's what, again, theme of the video, that's what the Nazis did. They're just doing it now against Muslims, blacks, Asians, anyone who's not white. It's incredibly dangerous. And this is being normalized. And this isn't a joke. This isn't funny. It may be edgy for the, 14-year-old watching that going, "Oh, yeah, Nazis are based." But where does it lead? Why put your identity just on the colour of your skin? It's meaningless. There's no meaning to the colour of your skin. It's scientifically bunk. But that's all they have. It's a very sad life they live. Deeply sad.
About is one that's just sort of an endless string of sectarian, religious, racial, ethnic conflict that Britain turns into the Yugoslavia of the 1990s, or worse, turns into the South Africa of today.
Or Lebanon.
Or any number of examples. That happens in Britain because that's the trajectory we're on. Now,
based on what? No, this is just pure fantasy. This is far-right masturbation material right here. This is what they love. Like, no evidence of this. Like, so people are coming in. We've got 6.5% Muslims in the country, 4% black people. Ergo, sectarian violence on the streets. Just completely irrational. Just no base in evidence. Pure conspiracy. But to them, they have an anecdote. They have a little story and they go, "Look, this is a wider trend," based on no evidence.
Again, our detractors, our political enemies will say, "Well, that just speaks of something in me."
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
which
like.
is which.
I don't
does.
like racial violence.
Really?
I somehow want that to be.
No,
Of course you do. That's what every far-right racist fantasizes about. A race war. It's what Charles Manson fantasized about. It's what Hitler. That's all they constantly think about. That's all they go on about. They have nothing else in their lives. I mean, look at them. These aren't happy people.
No, the absolute opposite. I'm trying to prevent that from happening. I remember just
But no evidence is going to happen. Just speculating on nothing, by the way. Like, presenting no evidence like that this is going to happen. So it's happened in other countries. So that means it's going to happen in this country based on just emotion.
describing this to someone once before, someone I know very well.
Yeah.
And a few weeks later, like there might be a religious war, an ethnic war, if this goes on, in the end. Something like Yugoslavia. A few weeks later, they mentioned, oh, that race war you want.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
it's the opposite.
He does.
yeah.
It's the absolute
They
opposite.
love it.
I'm talking about this now.
Look at the comments in this video. That's what they want. They bloody love it. That's what they want more than ever. Like Tim Pool talks about the Civil War coming. They just thirst for it. That's what they want. That's what racists want. That's how they say it. They see it as a zero-sum game. Like, oh, white people are being replaced, even though they're 82% of the population, the vast majority. And the only way is to fight it out. Like 40k Warhammer. I don't even know what that is. Warhammer. I don't know. I've had sex with a woman, but that's how they see the world, as races fighting. It's so infantile. They are like children. They have a mind of a child. And it's obviously children who watch this. Like teenage boys, no adult with their life together watches this. If you watch this and like you have family, friends, children, you are a deeply lost individual. And I recommend you go to the doctors.
Now, because it's the nightmare I don't want.
And the thing is, it looks like it's the nightmare that is rapidly approaching. I mean, we saw it in Leicester in 2022.
Right.
And this was just when it suddenly peaked.
Just one anecdote. That's it. That's their evidence. That's not how evidence works. You could prove anything with that. This one thing happened one time, ergo a broader trend. This is anti-empiricist. Again, another trait of fascism. Ethno-nationalist, blood and soil, anti-intellectualism, anti-evidence, grievance politics, race war, equals fascism, neo-Nazis. But they cry about it, they whinge, oh, they're calling us racist. I will ask you again, try not being racist.
It's on everyone's radars, where large gangs of Muslims and Hindus were stomping through the streets, attacking each other in each other's buildings. And, India and Pakistan have gone to war now. Well, what's already happening? Protests outside their embassies. I'm sure it's going to stop there. And at the moment...
Yeah, but you won't go into why India and Pakistan are going to war. It's not a race war. It's a territorial war. I mean... to him, but he essentializes like, that's just what they're like, isn't it? They're just violent and, us peaceful white people who have never done any harm to brown people across the planet, apart from 500 years of colonial rule, concentration camps in South Africa, Kenya, slaughter, rape, famine in India. But they're the victims. They're the white victims. It's all projection. It's all projection. Always. Every time.
Moment, it's basically just saber rattling between them. But if it gets more intense, I mean, who knows where it goes, right?
Well, that example of Leicester from a couple...
See, there's always this on that. Who knows where? You don't know. Like, who knows where it goes? Yeah, we don't know where it's going to. It's probably not necessarily going to escalate anymore because they've both got nuclear, capabilities. So it probably won't escalate. But, who knows what can happen? But these brown people, what they bloody like, eh?
a couple of years ago now. That example is sort of a great example, but we have the low-level stuff all the time. How many...
Just one example. I think you're going to need more than that if you're going to say this is going to be a race war in the UK, which ain't happening. It's obviously not happening. There's no logic where this happens. Like, this isn't happening ever. But I suppose, you've got to have a dream, haven't you? Pipe dreams are good in a way, as David Brent once said.
times of their sort of small 2, 3, 4, 5 on 5 machete fights in the street between.
Oh, it happens all the bloody time. Like the amount of times I see bloody people machete fights. Yes, if there are, it's also white people.
In various peoples that have got conflicts in their own lands,
You know what,
and it spills out onto streets of Essex or Brighton
You know what I saw
or
the other
Bradford
day?
or whatever.
I saw this
Yeah,
headline.
or whatever. Just make it up. Just make it up a country. Just literally no evidence. I'll just say a town or city that it happens in based on no evidence. Like you do.
That was a bunch of Croydon men who are, of course, African descent, African heritage men, who had burst.
Oh gosh, shall I tell Carl that he's also from African descent? That will upset him. That. Do I want to see him cry? Yeah, I want to see him cry. Carl, you are also from African descent.
Into a cannabis farm that was run by Albanians with machetes. Right?
See, like this is not an argument. Like, what point do they think they're proving with this? Because they're not really. Again, no argument. Just an anecdote.
Is the Albanians had guns, and so and this was in Croydon. The Albanians gunned them down. So great. This is what the future of Britain looks like.
How? Why? Evidence? Argument? What? Like, how does that mean that? So I could take any, like, two white people. The other day I was in the pub having a few Guinnesses with the bird and saw two white people fighting. These white people, there's going to be a race war between whites, between pink people and slightly less pink people. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Us whites need to come together, stick together, but, there's just too much violence. There's just too much white on white violence.
Rule of thumb, never turn up to an Albanian gunfight with a machete.
Basically, yes, that was the joke everyone was making.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's so obviously correct.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, but I don't want this.
The lists are endless. You've got, like, Christian
They're not, though. It's just anecdote.
Nigerians fighting Muslim Nigerians.
Where?
Oh, it's the endless examples of this.
It's just only black people and people of colour fight people. Like, white people have never... What the fuck? It's insane! Like, people believe this as well. Like, it's a small minority and they're not doing well. They've had bad... And I do feel sorry for them. I do have empathy for them because these people come from really horrible places. Like, you don't watch this stuff if you've had a happy life, if you've been grew up in a secure family, you're educated, you have a good job, you've got friends, you've got a good support network. These people are lost. And it's sad because a lot of young men are being failed because this is what they have. This is what they're being given online. It's pretty depressing, to say the least.
Yes. So this is sort of the logical conclusion of this is where it just goes on and on and on until...
There's no logic. There's no logic in what they're saying. It's pure emotion. There's no logical conclusion to Albanians fighting with Somalians or whatever it was, and then that's a race war. That's not how logic works. Like, even Carl knows this. He's like, well, no, there's no logic. Oh, okay, yeah. We'll say there's a logical conclusion. Based on what? Again, there'd be no answers to these questions. But, that's fine because emotion feels over reals, baby.
The native Brits are a tiny minority in their own countries. All the cities have been completely abandoned. You've got just rural pockets.
What does he mean by native? Because there's no native anyone. Like, the first people to come over to UK, I think we've got the Cheddar Man, which is about 10,000 years ago. We've done studies, we've done extrapolations from the data we know. He was brown. That's the native people. So the native people of the UK, the first people, native means first people, were brown. So actually, they should be here. And also ethically, they won't like this term because they don't know what it is. They have as much right as you have to be here. Sorry. But even on your own argument, they have the right. So it's just emotion. They have no argument. Because if you said that to them, they'd be like, well, I mean, Anglo-Saxon. I mean, white. I mean, no melanin. No melanin. We don't like melanin. Well, what's your problem with melanin? We just don't like melanin. Okay.
Rural enclaves of native Brits left, and they have to be guarded, gated communities like in South Africa.
It is their fantasy.
And it's just a hell. It's just a living hell.
Yes. And moreover, you'll get the sort of South
They've
Africa.
both got erections underneath here, by the way. And he has definitely. Look at his. That's the face of a man with a. He's probably tiny. Definitely, Carl's got a tiny penis. I don't like to speculate, but obviously, this is where their politics come from. They're in that 25%, 15% of men on the world with smaller penises than the average. And we have to get the brunt of this. Amazing.
Africanization of Britain, in which it's not just the demographic change that will matter. It's going to be failing infrastructure. It's going to be failing services, failing power
I love that going to be. Was he going to say power?
supplies. You'll get
What, because South Africa has it because it's a relatively poor country compared to the sixth richest country on the planet. Like, how? Why? Like, there's gonna be infrastructure failure. We've already got infrastructure failure from 14 years of austerity. But no, it's brown people. Oh, okay. It's not the white people who rule and have all the power. It's never white people that are a problem. Have white people done anything wrong ever? No. Oh, okay. I feel pretty good about myself. So you can't criticize me then, right? Good, because I'm white as well. Untouchable, baby.
rolling blackouts. You'll get areas of the country that are maintained by British natives that work, and the majority foreign population now around us.
I've even had people on the far right comment that what makes you English is that you identify as English. So that's it. Even by people on the far right who, half intelligent people, he knows who he is. I don't think he's watching right now. Admit that. If you identify with English, you're English. I don't care where you're born. If you ascribe yourself, you've lived here for 20 years, 30, 40, 50 years, you're English to me. I don't care where you're born. It's arbitrary to me. It's meaningless. Get a life.
Will be envious of that. They'll be resentful. It's like, how is it you ended up on the magic soil that provides all the abundance? We need to get in there now.
Yeah. All the abundance in the UK. All the money in London. He doesn't even like London. He's in fucking Swindon. It's so insane. These people are insufferable. It's boring at this point because it's like they think they're so intelligent as well. That's the thing that really gets me. Like, they think they're the master race. That somehow they're representing the highest IQ white people. Oh.
Now to take advantage of that. And so there'll be constant attacks on these communities. As you're seeing at the moment with Orania. It's like Orania, it's a prosperous, homogenous, safe place. And it's being treated as if this is stealing prosperity from the wider community in South Africa. It's like, no, you could change your ways at any time, but you don't, and instead you scapegoat this community.
Ooh, projection here. You scapegoat. That's literally what you're doing now. You don't take responsibility. You blame all your problems on brown people. You don't take responsibility. That's it. That's what you do, Carl. That's all you can do because you're valuable for nothing else.
Yeah. I mean, you sort of kind of laid out the Gavin Bovey, aka Mosquebuster, view of it, that when our cities are completely lost to foreign people,
They'll become like Birmingham.
They become like a Bangladeshi city.
Yeah. I mean, like Birmingham is just
Nothing works and it's a giant trash pile.
Yeah, exactly. Just
Nothing works. But not the fact that so many towns, cities are bankrupt through austerity, deficit spending, Tory incompetence. No, it's just brown people. Insane. It's just insane. They just don't take accountability for their own race, do they? It's always scapegoating with these guys.
Rubbish everywhere.
And nothing works. All the infrastructure is gone.
It's gone. It just they stole it all. All the infrastructure in Bum is just gone. You go there, it's just intuit, desolate, desert of the real. It's all gone. It's gone. It's gone.
And like in South Africa, that just makes them even more resentful of our enclaves that do still function.
Yeah. Somehow we
It's so funny to talk about South Africa when we colonized South Africa and the colonization, the white people, the violence, the crime, the disgusting, and still, like, we still live in an empire. We're still raping Africa for its resources, oil, minerals, aluminium, steel. Like, we are still. I mean, remember Bono in 2005? He tried to cancel Africa's debt. Bit of a liberal thing to do, but they were like, no, don't do that. We make trillions of dollars compound interest off that debt. Don't do that. We're literally raping Africa for its money through compound interest and resources. But it's brown people that are the problem. And I don't think we should reduce it down to race, because I'm not a racist. I reduce it down to capitalists, the capitalist class, because I'm a Marxist. It has nothing to do with white people, really. They just happen to be in power. It's capitalism that's the problem. They can't talk about that. And they can't even talk about white people. Like, they just think white people are the shit. Have white people never done anything wrong in their eyes? No, they can't, because they're white. This is racism. Unequivocally. But they get upset, they get triggered when you call them racist because they're fragile. Call me a racist all day. I'm okay with it. I'll argue the point. They can't because they've got no point.
Stolen this from them.
And people say again, our enemies, LBC or whoever, or at the BBC or Channel 4,
he's
whatever
scared.
it is.
He's fragile.
Politics Joe, the cretins at Politics Joe.
Oh, he's angry now.
They will say, we're just being paranoid. That's not going to happen. You're being over the top.
Why?
Well, you are. To say there's going to be a race war in the UK, you are being paranoid. You are being over the top. Like, no one believes this. Your average person on the street would just laugh at you if you showed them this video. They'd be like, who are these cranks? Who are these neo-Nazis? Are they... Who are they?
Why is it I can point to it in process? Why is it I can point to Birmingham right now? Like when from
Point to what? What do you mean? Point to what in process? See, vague. Vagueness, anecdote vagueness, grieving politics, whining, bitching. You're calling me racist, you're calling me mean. Nothing. Like, weak. Just weak,
LBC,
man.
Tom Swarbrick went down to Birmingham to try and interview some people. So why they think this
anecdote again.
An Englishman.
Like, that's all they have. It's just anecdote, man. I'm going to end here because I'm 8 minutes in and this is 27 minutes. I could go on like this because they have nothing. It goes on like this. More grievance politics, more anecdote, more whinging, more crying, more racism, because that's all they have. So if you enjoyed that, and even if you didn't, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.